How nice was it to these last couple of days have kind of the full complement of, aside from CJ, the full complement of your weapons out there, receivers. Elijah was back in the fold. Garrett obviously was working in, and then everyone else as well.
Yeah, those guys have done a really good job. I mean, we've obviously had most of them. I think majority. It hasn't felt much different really from OTAs. I know E was a little banged up last week, but we've had a majority of the time. So, those guys have done a really good job. You can see the improvement that they've made overall. And then Garrett coming in, and he's getting better every single day as we're going. So, I'm excited about the group that we have.
Zach, how would you sum up how your spring went?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Not just for me, but for everybody. I would say just the mindset of what we were trying to achieve. It wasn't supposed to be perfect, but just having the right mindset coming in and just trying to progress and having that focus, just keep improving every single day and just progressively getting better as a unit. And you get to look at the practice before and see the different looks that we had, and then we get to go and do it again the next day. And so you can see that we were improving, and whether the plays were good or bad, I think everything was a good learning experience so far for the whole spring.
Zach, how would you describe the leap you've made in terms of your cover level of the offense and being decisive in your throws since year one to now?
Right, I feel like just my understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing within the offense, within the timing. Of course, there's still improvement, and there's going to be looks where things can always be different. But I feel like just the base of understanding of what the coaches are asking me to do, is getting there and improving. And I'm going to keep working it until we get here back for training camp.
Yeah, what's next for you? Are you going to try to get the guys together? I think you mentioned that before. You going to try to do something like that with everybody?
Yeah, we will. Yeah, so we got something planned already for those guys. Somewhere in mid-July, I think we're going to meet up, and we'll get to do this whole thing where we kind of go through the scripts and throw together, and more than anything, just be together and go hang out. We'll plan some fun activities for those guys.
How much do you think that helps overall? For what you're trying to accomplish?
Right. I mean, every single day right now, since we got out here in April, we've been throwing. I would necessarily not say it's going to be the routes, the 2 days of throwing, that's going to be the most beneficial. It's going to be us stuck in some house together for 3 days, just getting to know each other and hanging out and talking, just like we do. And I think that's going to be more important than anything.
How and where can you take the biggest leap in year two?
Yeah, I would just say approaching every play like it's just only that play you got to focus on, and for me it's how can I just go in there and make the best decision to put my team in the best position. Really that's all that matters, and how can I just do what the coaches are asking me, and then my time will come to be able to do the off schedule stuff and whatever. But it's really playing within the offense is where I need to play with the biggest leap is just my progressions, getting through them cleanly, getting the ball out of my hands, giving it to guys and let them go make plays.
How do you feel about everything the organization has done to surround you with playmakers and bodyguards, protectors? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, they've done a great job. You can tell the organization cares, and they want to win just as badly as all of us. And so, they're doing everything they can to put me in the best position and everybody else around me. And they're giving me the ability just to say, I'm going to give this guy a shot right here. I'm going to let him win, and hang on him, and give him the ball just like we drafted him to be able to do. So we definitely have those guys. We definitely have the guys up front as well. We just need to put it all together.
Michael mentioned how you've improved your eye placement. So how have you been able to improve that throughout the offseason?
Right, I think it's just watching clips from last year and maybe comparing it to other quarterbacks that have been within the system before and just saying, hey, look, on this clip how he got his eyes here sooner or later, or whatever the concept was, and just seeing the timing of, that's what it looked like when somebody did it the right way, and this is what it looked like when you did it last year. This is how we can correct it. So I think it's just seeing the good examples, and then also just the reps of it. The more you see it in practice, I think there's a lot of times where we're running certain concepts, and now I'm starting to think back to many reps that I've had that the defense looked just like that, and I'm able to eliminate quicker, get to a backside read because I'm, last year I saw it in whatever game it was, this exact defense, I know that's not going to be there, I can move on. Whereas last year it was, I don't know how this is going to play out, let me hang on it a little bit. So it's, your process speeds up once you start to understand what's going on.
One of the big kind of headlines that Robert made last year with talking about your play was like the boring football thing. this year, going into year 2, do you feel more comfortable with taking the checkdowns, not playing like every play like it's your last? Do you feel like that's more second nature now for you?
I mean, to an extent. I mean, for me, I'm not even ever thinking, check the ball down more. I'm still trying to be, extremely aggressive. But it's how smart and aggressive can you be at the same time. If the defense is going to give you something, maybe it's a critical 3rd and long, and they're going to give me a seam throw. I'm still going to take it. I'm going to be aggressive. But how can I understand when that seam isn't there and I can get down to my check down and just live to play the field position on the next possession? And so, for me, it's just understanding when to take that risk and just going through my reads, understanding where every single play ends. If I'm trying to take a shot and something's not there, now I'm scrambling, it's a bad play. How can I, I'm trying to take a shot here, everyone's falling off, get it down to a check down quickly, let him run.
You and Elijah obviously came in together. You spent a lot of time with him. Where have you seen him grow, and how valuable is he to you in this offense?
Yeah, he's got an ability not a lot of people have. His ability to stop, his work ethic, has freakishly good hands, the ability to catch from any radius, and then his ability to transition up the field. And I think his best quality is that how bad he just wants it. So he's going to be a good one for us to have, and he's going to keep learning the offense just like I am, and we're going to keep adapting together. But I'm really excited about him.
Zach, when you think about the scope of your experience since you've been in New York, from your rookie year until now, what are some of the things that stand out? And this is a little bit of a, abstract question as far as what are some of the things that stand out for you as your experience off the field or in life that will kind of impact your perspective when it comes to how you handle adversity, how you're going to handle pressure, because that's most of how we're going to see the evidence of your growth.
Right. I mean, it's a tough question when you look at adversity, and I think there's been adversity throughout my whole life, whether it's small aspects that a lot of people don't see, but there's always somebody that's doubting something that you're doing or something that our team is trying to accomplish, and I feel like that just kind of fuels you as a team. And I would say 98% of the people outside of our building have no idea what's going on anyway. So I think that's cool, is we can lean on each other, trust each other, and you kind of use that fire to say, this is our goal, this is where we need to be, let's close that gap. And it's special to have a group of guys that all believe in the same thing, and you kind of get to block out that noise.
Is there an experience, though, that you can describe off of the field or even away from game day that you can say just kind of goes into the fabric of, who you'll be as far as just the curve of your maturation this season, or how you will handle adversity from a different, more evolved perspective, so to speak?
I mean, I really don't have another experience. I mean, the biggest experience of adversity I hit was, playing well as a freshman in college, having a shoulder surgery, not doing very well my sophomore year, to an open competition, to, kind of seeing who was really in my circle with me then, and then, all the haters around me then, and, you got to have that chip on your shoulder to say, okay, my back's up against the ropes right here. How can I, kind of come through it all? And so now, second time around, it doesn't bother you at all.
Thank you.
Zach Sala was in here earlier, and he was talking about, he believes your potential is limitless, but you can't sort of rush to the ceiling. It's where you got to be progression. He talks about 101, 301, 501. Mm-hmm. Is it tough to sort of be patient and not want to just, be great right away?
Right. Well, I have that confidence in myself. I see the best play of the game, and I think I can do the same thing right now. And, maybe there's glimpses of plays or whatever, but it is true. Like, you have to write out that process. You have to understand the process and where you're trying to get ultimately overall. And you can't just look at it all in 1 year. I have to look at last year and the struggles and ups and downs of it as part of the process of getting better. And so, of course, I'm going to try and be the best I can right now, but you have to understand that it's going to take time.
Well, if it does take time, how good do you think you can be?
I mean, I guess we'll see. I really do have a lot of confidence in myself to be able to see. Obviously, I think I can be one of the best, and I think if anybody doesn't say that, then they're not a true competitor. So,
how are you handling the kind of the highs and lows of sometimes in practice when you're having kind of a tough day or you're having a great day? How much value you kind of place in that?
Right. Obviously, I get frustrated, and you want that rep back. You saw something one way, you missed a throw, whatever it was, and you have to just be able to say, move on, get to the next play, because it's part of football. You're not going to ever play a perfect football game, and there's going to be the ups and downs. Sometimes you play a horrible first half, and you come back and you win it in the second half, and you have to have that short-term memory in that aspect of being able to learn from those mistakes, but also just be able to move on.
How do you like playing in this market?
I think it's awesome. I don't think there's a better place to be. I really do. The longer I'm here, the more I do enjoy being here. I think, the atmosphere, the people, where we live, the guys on the team, the culture that we're trying to set, I really do enjoy it.
How do you feel like the momentum you kind of built in the second half of last season has kind of carried over a little bit towards the offseason, OTs, and minicamps?
You said a memory?
Like, or say the momentum you've
Oh,
carried
momentum.
kind of from the second half of the season to OTs and the minicamp and all that stuff.
Right, it wasn't even just the second half. I have to look at the first half too and say, okay, well, what was I doing wrong there? How can I, find what was going off as a team, as a unit for me especially, and then you progressively just watch every single week and see what things you got better at, and then of course, like our coaches always talk about, you find a couple things to focus on and you hit those on the head. You watch them in the film room, you watch them outside, you watch other guys take reps, the other backups when they come in, and then I need to go out there and do well with my reps. So you get a lot of experiences of being able to watch these things and going through the process.
What did you learn about this town during when you watched the Rangers, when you were at those games? What did that experience?
Yeah, there's just a lot of passionate fans out here that, New York has a lot of people, and it's a very exciting atmosphere when you can get to the playoffs and you can have that push and the support behind the team. So, it just makes us want to be great out here even more just because of everything surrounding it.
We talked about the Wilson connection with Garrett Wilson and all that stuff. How excited are you, to kind of play with him next year and, hopefully have a special season with him?
Yeah, I think he's got the right mindset, and he has a freakish ability, to adjust in the air, to find the ball, his route running ability. So I'm really excited for him just to keep developing and growing and seeing where he can get, going to training camp this year and then into season, because I do think he can be a great weapon for us.
Are you hoping that nickname, the Wilson keeps catching on more?
Yeah, I think it will.